Okay, for those who are catching the replay, you know what I have to do, get us shared on all platforms, and then I can begin. Also, it gives time for everyone to, oh goodness, I know upstairs they are not about to do some work, so sounds like they are. Please bear with me as I don't know what they're doing upstairs. But anyway, back to us. Let's see. Okay. I guess they're doing some work. We don't know. Don't know, but let's see. Okay, so I'm waiting for a few people to hop on. And then I will begin. Hope everyone is having a great day. I am excited because this is the last day of the first half of 2017. Tomorrow starts the second half. So, and it's also New Year for me in Canada. We are celebrating our birthday tomorrow. So let's see. All right, I think I've shared it everywhere. And I can get started in a moment. Today's training on what is a blogger, it is 4 pages of notes that I wrote. So it is a lot of information, but I tried to simplify it and make sure that I explain in a very, very simple way what a blogger is. And again, if you hear any banging, I don't know what it is about my upstairs neighbor, but she seems to like to do things on Friday. That must be her off day too, because it's mine. So they are doing some kind of drilling or hammering or something. So please try to ignore it, and I will try to speak above that. But if you haven't already shared this broadcast, please share, because a lot of people are getting confused on what a blogger is. They think it is just someone who writes. And I'm going to really break down what a blogger is so that you know if you qualify as a blogger or if you qualify as an online content creator. So let's start. Let's go ahead and get started, because I want to make sure that we still finish by 1 o'clock. My name is Vernetta R. Freeney, and I'm the organizer of the Houston African American Bloggers Association, otherwise known as HAB. HAB helps our members get paid, gain exclusive access to high connections, and stay up to date on the latest industry news, trends, and strategies. We do this because we know how challenging it is for African American voices to not only be heard, but to be respected and accepted in the online content creator world. So I mentioned that we're bloggers, and I mentioned online content creator. And that is what I am going to explain today. Now, our weekly live stream series gives you insight into HAB, plus shares some information you can use for yourself. Let's go ahead and dive into this week's topic. If you missed any of the past, I don't know what these are called, streams, episodes, whatever. If you missed any, you can always find them on the video section on our Facebook page and the YouTube in our YouTube channel. They will either be under blogging tips or organizers message. So they are on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's, before we dive deep into today's topic, let's go over 2 words and what they mean. First, blogger. What is a blogger? Anyone who writes on a website regularly, creates videos for YouTube or live stream, or does audio such as a podcast. That is a blogger. Okay. Second, online content creator. What is that? Someone who creates something others consume through reading, watching, or listening via a phone, tablet, or computer. So those are my definitions. You probably won't find those in any dictionary, but those are my definitions of what a blogger is and what an online content creator is. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's get into more about what a blogger is. And if you want more on the definition of blogging, then go and watch our Blogging 101 video. You can find the Blogging 101 video on our YouTube channel or in the video section of our Facebook page. Okay, bloggers are people who have something to say about a topic and share it through written words, video, or audio. And we have all 3 types of bloggers, and some of our members are more than one type of blogger. Most people associate the word blogger with written word. It is not always just written word. A blogger is someone who creates content that other people consume, and they can now consume it either by reading it, which is the traditional way of blogging. Then we had video blogging, which is speaking what you see on YouTube or live stream. And now we have audio blogging, where people get to listen. And all forms of blogging, you can either watch live if it's live stream, or if it's being played live for audio, or you can watch, read, listen at your leisure. Okay, so blogging is not just writing, it is also creating videos because you have content you are sharing, or it is creating audios such as a podcast because you have content you are sharing. Now, it takes some of us a minute to figure out how to present the voice we finally found. I started with written blog in 2009. 2012, I started a YouTube channel. That channel has been deleted, but I did have a YouTube channel that did quite well with creating engagement and getting people interested in my blog and the national tour that I had created at the time. And then in 2016, I created an audio blog, a podcast. So I have done written, video, and audio blogging. Now I'm doing live stream because it's how people like to consume information. And it's another way for you to get to know more about HAB. So I have evolved with how blogging has evolved. Blogging is no longer just writing. People don't want to just go to a blog and read words all the time. They want pictures, they want video, they want audio. Now, can you still write? Absolutely. There are still readers. I am a reader. That's what I prefer. I love words. I love written words. But my audience prefers my podcast. So I create my content, and instead of writing it in a blog post, I create it in a podcast episode. You have to be able to figure out what your voice is and what you want to say, and then put it on the platform that your audience wants to consume that. Now, you can start with your strength. I started with blogging until I found my voice. Then I moved to YouTube, and I got a little comfortable with being in front of a camera. Then I moved to audio because I felt comfortable with the technical side of audio. Now I'm doing live stream because I've been able to speak in front of a camera. Thanks to YouTube, I've been able to speak because of my podcast. And I already know how to create content based on my written blog. So the evolution was just going to be an easier transition for me because I've already gone through the evolution of what a blogger is. Now, for you, you have to find out what your strength. Are you a better speaker? Are you better in front of people? That's video. Speakers, more audio. Or are you better writing? That's the written blog. If writing is your thing, then start with a written blog. If you like being on camera, start with the video. And if you like to talk but don't want to be seen, start with the podcast. Okay? As a blogger, and again, if you hear any oops, that's my neighbor upstairs. Okay? As a blogger, you have to start where you are comfortable. That allows you time to perfect the tone of your voice. I would also suggest to have some ideas why you want to be a blogger, because if not, you'll get overwhelmed, frustrated, and quit. Okay. For me, I started with the writing as a blogging because I am an ESL teacher, English as a second language, and writing is the class that I'm always given because I'm very good at teaching writing. So that's my strength. That's my comfort level. That's my sweet spot. That's my zone of genius, writing. However, a lot of people don't like to read anymore. And I realized that how am I still going to give information if people don't like to read? Well, I know my audience. They're always busy. They're always on the go. So I started a video because I was like, okay, here's a way for them to get to know me. I started a YouTube channel. I didn't like being on camera at the time, but they really liked the information I was giving to them. Fast forward to 2016. I still wanted to give information. They still weren't really reading. So I decided to do a podcast. That works for my audience. They're busy. They're on the go. They do not have time to sit and read, nor do some of them want to, but they still want information. So I have a podcast and I do live streams. I'm still giving the information they want, but they can listen to it and they can listen to it and they can see it and they can still get the information. So as a blogger, you may not be able to stay where you are comfortable. You may have to switch platforms because your audience may want something different. If you are a video blogger, what if your audience needs to read some things while they watch your video? So you may have to start doing a little bit of writing. What if you are an audio blogger, but people want to see you? You may want to try to do some live streams or create some short social media videos or videos you can post on YouTube. As a blogger, it is not just written word. You will have to take part in other platforms to really get your audience engaged, because everyone is not a reader. Everyone doesn't like watching videos. I don't like watching YouTube videos. Everyone is not a listener. Some people just cannot stand the voice of other people. So you have to be able to know how your audience consumes information. And if there's a larger segment of your audience who likes to consume information in a different way, then go ahead and create that second platform for them to be able to consume that information. Reading is fundamental. However, we seem to spend consumer information, and that forces bloggers to break down their story or message into smaller sound bites, articles, or posts. Yes, so if you have a big, huge concept, you can break down what you're doing. I mean, honestly, I can take one piece of information, I can create a podcast, I can create a live stream from it, I can write a blog post, I can create emails, I can create what I'm going to post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can take one big piece of content and you can break it down into all the different platforms and segments, because you don't have to always create new content. Because there are some people on Instagram who refuse to get on Facebook. So they're not even seeing what you post on Facebook. They're not even seeing your blog post. There are some people who have followed me for years, have never, ever, ever read one of my blog posts, but they listen to my podcast. So they're getting information strictly from my podcast and not from my blog. You can take one topic, one piece of content, and you can really repurpose it for different platforms. Okay, and then also I stated that if you don't know your why, we talked about it in the training I gave this week in the Facebook group for HAB. Your why is very important. If you do not know your why, then you can be overwhelmed, frustrated, and want to quit. This is overwhelming because when you start blogging, video blogging, or audio blogging, which is a podcast, you see other people and you see that they work with all these brands, they're doing all of these campaigns, they're flying all over, they get new clothes, they're always on the scene in their city. You see all this stuff, and then you can be overwhelmed trying to get your platform to where they are, but you don't know how hard they worked, you don't know what sacrifices they had to make, and you don't know what they were doing before they started their online platform. Also, and you can get frustrated. You can get frustrated because you may not be tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy. So being part of HAB is really helpful because there are members in there who are tech savvy, who actually work in the IT field. We do have members who work in the IT field. They're good at that. So I can post my tech questions and they can answer it for me. That allows me not to be frustrated. But if you don't understand or know what your why is, you will always be frustrated by the little tech things that can stop you because you don't know what you're doing, and then you're like, okay, I quit, I give up. In order not to get to the point of quitting and giving up, because I have been there multiple times, you have to remember why. Why did you start your platform? So for example, I started Praying for Purpose. That was my first blog. Because I needed a place to vent about my job at the time. I started Women Are Game Changers, my second blog, because I wanted to make money. I did research at the public library, and I found out that people were making money from blogging, so I wanted to make money from blogging. I started The Truth Confidant because I know what it's like to deal with depression and stress, and so I wanted to provide resources and tools that people can use to get out of that state. I started A Toast to Truth because I know what it's like to run a business, to have it be successful, and then it just crumbles and falls apart, and you have to shut the business down. So I started A Toast to Truth because I wanted people to know what it's really like to run a business and no one is really talking about. So I know the whys for all of the platforms that I created. Now for HAB, I didn't create HAB. I just was given the group, literally given the group. And so my why with HAB is a collective. It's a safe, sacred space for African American voices in the blogging world in Houston to have a place to vent, to grow, to learn, to connect, to get what they need, and have their tribe support them along the way. So my why, every time something feels like it's not working for HAB, I remember this group is for everyone. It is not for me. So I need to make sure that everything that I'm doing for this group is going to benefit every single member of this group, because every member of this group is in an online space that does not respect our voices, that takes our voices and profits from our voices and leaves us to figure out what do we do to get our content stolen and someone else to profit off of it. So I make sure that HAB is a place where people can come, learn, grow, connect, do what they need to do in a safe space with people who understand what they are going through, who understand how they may feel in certain situations that happen in the blogging world. So I know my whys for each of the platforms. So when I feel frustrated, I know why I'm going to continue working on that platform. Now, you will have to walk away from some platforms, and that's okay. You're not meant to keep everything for the rest of your life. That's just impossible. But you have to know why you are leaving it. Is it leaving because you don't know what you're doing? then in that case, you need to join an organization like HAB. Are you quitting because you don't have time? Okay, if you don't have time, why do you not have time? You know, look at your time. You have to know why you're quitting. But at the end of the day, it's still your choice to quit. That's what I want you to remember. It is always your choice. Let's see, where did I go? Because I kind of got off on a tangent. If you have questions, you can always post questions and I'll answer your questions or respond to your comments. Okay. Okay, so in 8 years of me blogging, I started in 2009. It is 2017. Is that 8 years? I'm not sure. I can't add. I think it's 8 years because this is 2017 and that's 2 years away from 2019. So that's 8. I think it's 8 years. I'm not a mathematician. But in the 8 years that I have been blogging, I have gone through all the blogging types. So again, you can have a written blog. You can have a video blog. You can have an audio blog. We call that a podcast. And now, live streaming is part of the blogging world. Okay, so I've gone through all the blogging types, platforms, and I would still say I prefer written blog, but my audience does not. So even though I love words, my audience does not, and I have to move to where my audience is. Okay. As a blogger, you may love something, but find an audience who gravitates to you in a different or on a different platform. What will you do? You can either stay on the platform you prefer and work consistently until you build up an audience, or you can go to your different platform, build a trust and engagement, and then move them to your preferred platform. Either way, you're going to work. Hey, I don't prefer video because honestly, I'm going to be honest. I'm a very transparent person. When I'm at home, I don't really like to get dressed up, honestly. So that means if I'm doing video, I have to get dressed up. So like yesterday, I went and got my hair cut because I was like, you know what? It's just easier if I get my hair cut. So that's very low maintenance. Very low maintenance. So if I keep my hair cut this summer, seeing how I'm doing this video series every Friday, that's less work on me to do. And then I like to do graphic tees. As you can see, I try to wear graphic tees for this. So for me, video is like a production, for me at least. But for other people, they love video because it works for them. I prefer writing because I like to write. Thus, I created my own journal where I can write. But my audience loves my podcast. I'm a speaker. I have no problem speaking. I can speak for hours on a topic. So podcasting works for me. Oh, we can't wait to see you at the boot camp. Yes, yes. Everybody who is speaking at the boot camp have touched everything. We have written bloggers, we have podcasters, we have video bloggers, we have live streamers, we have radio hosts. I hosted a TV show. So we have different types of platforms that you would definitely be able to get your questions asked and answered. Okay, so we talked about if you have to gravitate to a new platform and move them over, that's always an option. Okay, so let's get back to what is a blogger. This question continues to pop up, especially when we're inviting people to attend our blog bootcamp. Bloggers are storytellers, informers of what's happening, creative souls who we rely on for information in a way we not only understand, but in a way we relate to. Bloggers are the mind society needs to push the boundaries a little to make you think. Bloggers are the ones who show you things you may not know how to do or something new. Bloggers are the ones who do the research, then give you the clip notes on complex topics and subjects. Bloggers are the ones who revolutionize the way we connect engage, and use the internet. Again, these are my definitions. Do not look up what these mean, but these are the terms that I've created are what bloggers are, what we are looking for, what you guys are who watch this, what you guys are who create content. You are bloggers, and you are storytellers, you are informers, you are giving people information on topics in ways that they can understand. You are a blogger, you are sharing information online. Thus, online content creator. You are creating content. That means pieces of information, and that content is being consumed online. You are a blogger. You are an online content creator. Once you have content, though, that people gravitate to, and they share, and they use, and they tell other people about, then you become an influencer. So you cannot become an influencer unless people are gravitating to the content that you are sharing, whether it's your content or someone else's. Now, we are going to teach you how to curate content if you do not know how to create your own content. You can still curate content and be seen as an influencer. We will show you that at the Blog Bootcamp. But at this point, this week, I'm talking about those of us who are creating content. We are bloggers. We are creators. Okay? Next week, I will talk about, what did I just say? Influencers. I'm sorry, I have a lot on my mind. So I will talk about influencers and how you can become one and all that stuff. So that's next week's topic. Okay, so I hope that the explanation of what a blogger is helps you identify whether you are one or not. FYI, being consistent means more than one time a quarter or once a year. If that's all you put out, then you're not a blogger. You're someone who blogs, and that's a different person, or that's different. So a blogger is different from someone who blogs. The reason I'm doing this particular topic this week is because a lot of people want to say, oh, I want to be a blogger because I want people to know about my business. But they don't want to do the work that bloggers do. We create graphics, we create social media content to drive traffic to our blogs, to our podcasts, to our video blogs. We are constantly using the content, using our topics, and creating things to get people's attention. Some people don't want to do that, but they want to create a blog because they want people to know what they're doing. Those are people who have a blog, but they are not bloggers. If you have a blog because you have a business or you have a nonprofit and you're just using it in case somebody lands on your website and you want to give them a little bit more information than what's on your website, then you just have a blog, and that's perfectly fine. You can still come to the boot camp as well because you can learn some tips and techniques, but you're not a blogger. A blogger is someone who is really putting in the work and really consistent with what they are putting out, and they're putting out things related to their platform on a daily basis. Whether they created a new video, have a new episode of their podcast, or wrote a new blog, doesn't matter. They are still driving people to maybe pass something that they've created. So there's a difference. Now I'm going to talk about that. A blogger builds their life or business around their platform. Over time, the focal foundation can change. Like you can go from written blog to video blog to audio blog to live stream. That's what I mean by the focal foundation. But you're still presenting content for people to consume online. Someone who blogs has a business or a nonprofit and uses a blogging platform to get people to learn more about their business. These are opposites. One creates content to make money, and products and services comes from the content. That is a blogger. The other has a product or service, but uses a blogging platform to showcase their product or service. That's someone who uses a blog. Creating content is not a high priority to them. They are someone who blogs, may blog if they have a new product or if something pops on their mind. Bloggers have content creators. We're going to lay out the year. We're going to know what our themes are for the month. Like for me, Stress Awareness Month is April. That's a big month, but I'm pushing out a lot of content. July is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. That's going to be a month I'm pushing out a lot of content. But that's what I do. I create content for you to consume, and then I have created products and services based off of how you consume the information that I created. On the other hand, if I were a business owner who makes books, then I would probably put out a blog for Book Lovers Month. I think that's February, something like that, where I may put out a blog if there's an author coming to do a reading. Most times they don't even put out blogs. They kind of just put it on social media like, hey, Vernetta is coming to read at Teacup Book Cafe. Join us Tuesday at 7 p.m. They're not even writing blogs to get people prepared for that author coming. You can do interviews. You can highlight the author. You could do a background of the author. You could take one character from the book and you can highlight that character. There are things you can do as far as creating content to create a blog for your business, but a lot of them don't do it. So that's the difference between a blogger, someone who creates content, and based on that content, a product and a service is developed, or a business who blogs. They have a business, and then they're like, people keep saying I need a blog, so I'm going to start blogging. But they're not really invested. Like, we spend hours a week invested in learning, developing, growing, attending trainings, going to conferences, learning the new tool, reading about how Facebook is now changing groups and how to do that. Dealing with the layout change of the Twitter app and Twitter. That's what bloggers do. We're constantly learning about this industry so we know what we're doing. People who blog are still like, okay, I need to have a Facebook page. I need to have a Twitter account. I need to start a blog. But they're doing things that were effective 5 years ago. What was effective 5 months ago, we know as bloggers, is no longer effective. So you have to change. You have to grow and develop. And if you're a member of HAB, we keep you in the loop on what's happening with our monthly trainings. Those of you who come to our boot camp, you're going to get the latest information that you can at least utilize for the rest of 2017. I can't even say you can use this stuff for the rest of your life, because this world evolves so quickly that we will make sure that you have what you need for like the next few months, so that you can try to at least get ahead of the curve. You can at least get ahead of people who are in similar niches and topics as you. Okay, now both are necessary and serve their purpose. Whether you are a blogger or someone who blogs, HAB Bootcamp is a great place to learn how to use your platform and the content you create to influence your audience to shift in the direction you are headed. So remember, next week I'm going to talk about influence and how to become an influencer. That's next week's live stream topic. At the bootcamp, we have both bloggers and people who blog. So you will get perspective from both sides of the same coin. Now, for those of you who... Now, I'm a blogger. I have been a blogger since 2009. I have been a full-time blogger since 2011. But I have consulted with people who blog. This is not what they want to do every day. They do it periodically, but I have consulted with people who blog. There is a complete distinction between bloggers and people who blog. So there will be both people, both sides of the same coin, and you can connect and get to know more about them. Okay, so since I'm talking about the boot camp, let me share what you can expect. I'm so excited for this boot camp because it's like everything you need to know about content, creating content, and using that content to establish your influence by actual local influencers is going to be amazing. I've heard a lot of these speakers already speak. I know them. I know their results. I know their records. I know their work ethic. So you are actually getting a lot of really good information from people who know what they're talking about, or else we would not have asked them to come and speak. Okay. Oh, before I forget, tomorrow is my birthday. So since tomorrow is my birthday, HAB will be giving 33% off boot camp tickets all weekend for my birthday. So July 1st through the 2nd. If you have not bought your ticket, you can get 33% off. It's only for this weekend. After that, tickets are going back to their price. And I think tickets are going to go up in a couple of weeks. So if you want to come and you want to learn, and you probably couldn't afford $35, our early bird tickets, I think, were like $20. Thank you. This is a great opportunity. I asked the leadership team, would they do this? And they graciously said, okay. So I asked, you gotta take advantage of it, because, you know, they told me it is till July 2nd. And then after that, you know, you gotta pay regular price. So I'm trying to help you guys out. I really am. I'm trying to help you out by getting to the boot camp. Thank you for the birthday wishes, but I'm trying to help y'all get to the boot camp by using my birthday as a way to help you out. So if you want to come, you have to follow HAB though. You have to follow HAB, because HAB is going to put the discount code out tomorrow. And our members are going to have the code to share as well. Once tickets are gone, they're gone. But I would say go ahead, because I know y'all got paid. It is Friday. It is the last day of the month. Y'all got paid today, because if it's the first, tomorrow, you get paid the day before. I know how payday works. So y'all got paid today. You will have the money to get your discounted ticket tomorrow. Okay, so let's go back to who is speaking at the boot camp and what they are going to be speaking about. Okay, so we're going to start with our keynote. Our keynote is Tristan Sutton. He is going to be talking about personal branding. He has a personal branding boot camp. I have seen Tristan evolve over the years. I have seen his growth, the businesses he and his wife create. They just launched a radio show. Y'all know I'm very opinionated. I actually do like the show. Yes, our co-organizer, Charlotte, says she highly recommends you get your tickets this weekend to the boot camp, because seriously, we're at half full. Yeah, half of our tickets are already gone. And with the discount, that makes it a lot easier for a lot more people to get the tickets because they're there. But we would really hope that you take advantage. But anyway, so I've seen Tristan evolve over time, and he is definitely someone I think who's great at personal branding. Then we have Juan of Words. He runs the largest Mexican American blog in the country. He is known for working with brands big and small. He went to Connecticut like a few weeks ago to what's that car company, you know, with the magazine or whatever? I don't know. I'm not into cars like that, but he was at their thing. Then he was at the Walmart shareholders meeting a couple of weeks ago, and he posted a picture on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I know that guy who's right next to you. That's the senior diversity director at Walmart. So Juan is connected to brands. He knows influencer marketing. He is going to show us and tell us how we can work with brands at the boot camp. So I'm very excited for his workshop. So you can already see the quality of the keynote, and the workshop speaker is worth more than the $35 that we are asking you guys for. And then we're going to have two awesome panels. The first one is going to be leveraging content creation and technology. We wanted to, Michelle, who created the boot camp this year, wanted to make sure technology was a part of it, as technology is a part of what we do and technology is a part of our lives. So we have Jonathan Davis, Gary Lee, Denise Hamilton. Gary and Jonathan are podcasters. They're content creators. They curate content. Denise Hamilton is a Black woman technology company founder who's here in Houston. And her company is based on videos. So for those of you who like video, she has created a tech company around video. So you definitely want to listen to what she has to say on our panel. And Andrea Davis is going to be the moderator for that panel. Tashia Davis Hackenmack is going to be our MC. She's so funny. She's going to keep us, going throughout the session. And then the second panel is going to be Crystal Knight and myself sharing how we went from being bloggers to traditional media. So she started a print magazine and I had a TV show. And Janae Smith is going to be the moderator for our panel. So I'm very excited about those. And then, even though I'm excited about the panels and the speakers, I'm probably the most excited about Blog Tank. Blog Tank is like Shark Tank. Just keep that in mind. We will share more about Blog Tank next month. But Blog Tank is like Shark Tank. Think of Shark Tank. Think of what they're trying to get from the sharks. And then that's going to be Blog Tank. So I am excited to share more about Blog Tank. You've got to tune in. We are going to share more about Blog Tank next week on our influencers topic. But Blog Tank is like Shark Tank. Just remember that. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you about Blog Tank. There's some blog. Let me just say this about Blog Tank because I want y'all to get excited because I'm excited. Blog Tank is going to be an opportunity not only at Have Blog Bootcamp, but it is also going to be an opportunity for you to really get what you need for your platform by a very influential local business person. I'm not going to say if it's a woman or a man just yet, but we will give more information about that next week, okay? But in order to enter the Blog Tank, you do have to be a paid attendee. So you need to get your ticket if you have not already gotten your ticket. And this year, the bootcamp is brought to you by Search for Her Existence, otherwise known as SHE. It is a leadership development company for women, and she is also an IP attorney, intellectual property attorney. So for those of you who have questions about intellectual property, we're going to refer you over to Search for Her Existence because that is our sponsor, and she's actually an attorney. She helped me get my trademark. I do have a trademark for one of my blogs. Yeah, you got to read my blog to get the information on that. Okay, you can always book a session with her. You can ask her questions, get a consultation, whatever you need. And then we will announce our Blog Tank sponsor next week when we tell you more about what's going to happen at Blog Tank. Okay. Now, the bootcamp is August 5th. Our bootcamp is always the first Saturday of August, and we are excited to see you there. Remember, to get the discount code, you have to follow HAB and our members because we will put it out tomorrow morning. Are there any questions? Because I see there are some people on. While you are typing your questions, I want to introduce myself again for those who have come on later. My name is Vernetta R. Freeney. I am the organizer of the Houston African American Bloggers Association, otherwise known as HAB. HAB helps our members get paid, gain exclusive access to high connections, and stay up to date on the latest industry news, trends, and strategies. We do this because we know how challenging it is for African American voices to not only be heard, but to be respected and accepted in the online content creator world. So that is who I am. That's what HAB does. And this week we talked about what is a blogger. Next week we will talk about influencers, being an influencer, because you can be a blogger with no influence, and you can be an influencer with no content. So we're going to talk about influencers next week. So are there any questions? I'll stay on. This one actually went by kind of fast. So if there are any questions, I will answer them. If not, you can always, message us on Facebook, message us on Instagram. We'll get to it and we will respond to your questions and your comments. But are there any questions? And remember, the discount tickets, the code will go out tomorrow via our members and our platforms. Okay. Any questions? My phone has been blowing up. All right. If there are no questions, you can always catch us with questions later. Thank you for joining us, and I will be back next Friday at noon, and the topic will be on influencers, and I will go into more detail about Blog Tank. So Instagram, it's been real. Facebook, it's been real. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. I am going to enjoy my weekend, and I will see you. Oh, wait, we have a question. What do you think is necessary to create consistency on your platform? So it really depends on your audience, how often they can consume, not how often they want it, but how often they can consume the information you are creating. So my topic is journaling on my blog. That's not something I need to be putting out on a blog every day. So I'm going to do a daily email where I'm going to break down into digestible bites journaling. For a podcast, I would say averages weekly, but I do seasons with my podcast. So you only get X amount of episodes per year from me. Last year I had 3 seasons. One season was like 7 episodes. One season was 13 episodes. Another one was like 4. This year, both the seasons were 5. So based on your topic, based on how much time you have to create the content, and how much time you have to promote the content. You don't want to keep creating content and then not have enough time to promote it. If you don't promote your content, you can never reach the influencer status because no one's going to see it. No one's going to be able to consume it. So you need to be able to promote it. And Charlotte, our co-organizer, is like the master of that, and she will be teaching us how to do that next month in one of our trainings for HAB. But yeah, so creating consistency, I would say you need to look at your time, you need to look at your topic, and you need to know what your readers will, or how often your readers can consume, your viewers, your listeners, how often they can actually consume. Because you can get information every day and then just keep bookmarking it, and then you never get to it. But if you receive information at certain times and you have enough time to digest it, then that's the consistency. But because I do things by season, I just tell people, hey, from this time to this time, this is when you're getting new podcast episodes. So they know, and that's my consistency. July, podcast episodes, season 5, July 2nd through July 30th, every Sunday, 2 o'clock. That's my consistency. I have to do 5 episodes this month, and I have to put them out, but then I have to promote them as well. Okay, any other questions? I don't know if people are still on Instagram. Any other questions? I'll give you a second because I know typing takes a minute. Okay, if you have questions, I will answer those later. But it has been real. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy mine. Make sure you're following HAB to get the discount, to get your tickets. We are already at half full. We want to see you there, and you do not want to miss this year's blog bootcamp. Blog, written, video, audio. All of those are forms of blogging if you create on one of those platforms, you are invited. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, woman, man. You live in Houston, you don't live in Houston, you are a member of HAB, you are not a member of HAB. If you are a blogger, you are welcome and invited to attend our blog bootcamp. All right, until next Friday, noon. Next week, I'm talking about influencers and Blog Tank. I will see you guys later. Enjoy your weekend because I'm definitely going to enjoy mine.